Oh, hey, top of the morning to you. Oh, how do you do now? Yes, it's St. Paddy's Day. I know the title doesn't say it, but it is. This is in celebration of St. Patrick, who chased the snakes from Ireland so that the rats could flourish, cause disease, and kill people. Aye, maybe that's why we drink. Corned beef and cabbage for everybody. What's up, everyone? How you doing? It is St. Paddy's Day. And I heard a rumor. I heard this is true, so I'm banking on this being true. What's up, Don? I heard Doug is at a family dinner until 7 Pacific. If that is true, I am going to parade all of the stuff that I'm not supposed to show you out on screen so that we can have a night full of spoilers, and then may or may not promptly delete the VOD and the video from YouTube when we are done, when it is done uploading at about 10 p.m. So that may or may not be what is on deck. Creepa! Yeah, I see you creeping, Creepa. I see you. What is up, you legend? You can't hide from the eyes of OBS. Fellow Irish bastard. Don, you are at work. Please tell me you are drinking on the job on this happy day of St. Patrick's. By the way, for those who are not Irish, St. Patrick was not born on today. This is actually the anniversary of his death. So yeah, that's why we're gonna pour one out for good old Paddy. All right, spoilers. All right, spoilers. There's some spoilers. Oh, we don't even know what we're going to do with these yet. That's how spoilt these spoilers are. So some of the things that you're about to see may or may not be coming up anytime soon, and maybe a while before they get here. And by here, I mean into your hands. And by in your hands, I mean y'all fighting over them. Oh, it's the Raiders of the Lost Cozy. What's going on, Sapuros? Dangle! You must protect this house! What up, Party of Nine? I am, as the title says, I am doing spoilers. The rumor. Cram in for the last second. Hey, Paul. Paul is coming to us live from San Antonio, one of my personal favorite cities. And missed what I said. I had to sit through 3 minutes of adverts. Yeah, well, I mean, if only you subscribe, you would not have to look at those. The $5,000 gift card to DCD Collects is now gone. I'm sorry you did not respond in time. And the lucky winner, checks notes, was Mrs. the Breaker. Yokai! Good to see you, Yokai. How are you doing? Yes, so, fearless leader Doug. Carlos, what's up? KP. Dude, I don't even have a free subscription. Literally. Check out the DC the Breaker channel. I don't even have a free subscription. We are doing so. Doug, I was just telling everybody, Doug is at a family dinner. So I am spoiling all the stuff that I'm not supposed to show and talk about until he arises, and then I may or may not delete the VOD when it uploads. Hey, thanks, Lee. Even Lee subscribed. And it's funny because, yeah, you know, we subscribe to Lee. So we may have gotten in touch with a certain artist that everybody seems to love. Yeah, what if I told you something in the distant future? Am I drinking Guinness? No, my years of drinking Guinness are mostly concluded. I was the Irish car bomb king of Buffalo. Undefeated. Not bragging, but bragging. Undefeated. Nobody could ever beat me at Irish car bombs on St. Patrick's Day. I just have this way of opening up my throat and letting it go down. And I instantly regret saying that on camera, and I definitely will be deleting this VOD when it uploads tonight at about 10 o'clock. You know, it may or may not be Funko 2. It could be something completely different that we want him part of. Arguably my favorite depiction of Wasp. He got bigger. They turned me into a newt. Well, I got better. Oh, this one is so good. This is the one they're like, oh, we should probably not let anybody see this because this is going to be sought after. Well, here it is. Yep, that is what Doug is going to say if he ever sees the title of this video. It is true. That is absolutely correct, Lee. The Irish do not like the term Irish car bomb in America. The term comes from the fact that the beer explodes when you throw that shot of Jameson in there. Some goodies. I still love this Cosmic Ghost Rider. These I'm definitely not allowed to show you. These are a complete secret. Nobody is allowed to know that we have these. Hey, look! Not Paul Maitland. Hello, lady. That's a text message. What are you doing? I am not doing anything. There. I try to whenever I can. God, this is dumb. Look how ridiculous this is. No, Kevin, I just, not all of them are with me right now. A picture of, we need a drawing of Grogu sitting at a drawing table working on a gouache painting of Paul. I like that idea. I like this one because it still has the red lines on it. This is freaking gorgeous, by the way. Going on, Detroit. Yes. Lee, we haven't even mentioned those to anybody. Little Gus Mauk action. Little Teixeira Wolverine. I don't know where those stickers are. I think if Lee doesn't still have them, they're definitely not in my office. So this is a little book that came out a long time ago. May recognize that name, called Tor. Back in the day, a guy like Joe would make the big boards, and then they would shrink them via copier into smaller pages, and then somebody would come along and hand paint them. So these are the hand painted color keys from said book. And they are done by a legend in her own right, Tatiana Wood, Wally Wood's former wife. And if you don't know who Wally Wood is, probably shouldn't be in comics. That's weird. Maybe science can explain it. I could only dream of a stash that nice. Straight out of Melmac. Hello, Mel. Hello, Jimmy. Do you want the stash? I want the Ferrari. I don't want the insurance payments on the Ferrari. Whammy! It's me doing spoilers. Inconceivable. Because Doug's not going to be here till 7. Where's the beef? What is that? It's cheese. What else do I have? Uh, so the other 3 projects that are in the that are actually more than 50% done are having their photos taken, so I don't have access to them. It's probably a good thing. So that's all I have on hand. That's every piece of what I have. I do have something that I'm not supposed to show. That my old school card people will like. Something that we're holding on to. And probably waiting until next football season. I also have 2 cases of presidential. And we have what, as far as I know, the last case of Supercharged Series 2 from Super Breaks that I'm not allowed to show you that we have a case of. Yep, that's it. a lot of rules on me. It's a good thing I know all the rules. I know all of them. I follow some of them. Right? Now I just got to remember how I change that thing. How do I... No, that's not it. I don't know. Oh, well. That's all I got. That's it. That's um, all of the possible spoilers I could do. I wish I had more. I'd spoil all of them. What's going on, Ice Wolf? The most iconic St. Paddy's Day film ever. Well, that's obviously going to be Boondock Saints. Because there is no other movie to watch other than Boondock Saints. Well, then you better turn it off and put on Boondock Saints. Darby O'Gill and the Little People. I don't even know if they like to be called little people anymore. Don, you are a very tall leprechaun. Leprechaun 1 through 50. Is a leprechaun in space? Didn't that happen once? Leprechaun versus Freddy? I don't know about that. I know there was a Jason versus Freddy. You're not even sure we're allowed to call him Darby O'Gill anymore. What's up, Hellbolt? Love you, man. So there are 8 Leprechaun movies. Leprechaun, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun 4 in Space, Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun Back to the Hood, Leprechaun Origins, and Leprechaun Returns. Right. apparently there is a crossover with Candyman in development. Oh, never mind. Apparently Tony Todd said no. That's what I get for only reading half of a paragraph. Apparently, Warwick Davis only did 1 through 6. After his kid was born, he decided to stay out of horror. And there you go. Okay. All right, so what is everybody up to today? Oh. Don's doing a 12-hour. KP is drawing. Ice Wolf is planning his next diamond heist. Car Collector's working. I'm technically working, but I'm not working. Detroit's watching SmackDown. Carlos is like, well, I should be working, but I am watching you. I'm letting the machines do all the work. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. Bolt is working as a mod for a small company called DCD Collects. And when you say small company, you can argue it's only 4 people that work in that company. So I tried to take a nap today. Because I was tired. And it didn't work for me. Like an unpaid intern dishing out ideas so that someone else can take credit for them. And for that, Dave, we appreciate you. Oh, spoilers. You can expect box 3 to happen. The question is when and how much. Box 3 will be personally curated by Doug himself. I believe, as of our last conversation this morning, I will not be privy to what's inside the box until I open it. If the person chooses to have me open it live on stream. Raiders of the Lost Box 3. How many fantasies are pre-ordered? 1. But I'm not too worried about it. That's going to be a product where after the first one opens, everybody is going to want one. There are very few products that we make that we really get concerned about whether or not they're going to move, because we only make stuff we like. We just get concerned sometimes that we like stuff that other people don't. It is one box, like $500 or $600, and it is a box 3. It is a single box. We're numbering it 3. Because 3 seems to always be a banger. It's the way it is. Miles and miles of brown paper. It is going to be $600 worth of rolled brown paper, unrolled and stuffed into a box with a thank you card at the bottom, written in crayon. As a bonus, we will tape the crayon to the inside of the box. So you knew it was rigged. So I think here's how we're going to do it. I think we are going to pick a day. We are going to announce the price. And then anybody who is interested must show up on that day. And everybody who says in the chat that they want the box will be put into random.org, and then it'll be randomed 3 times, and whoever ends up number 3 gets the box. It is going to be more than $333. This is going to be a big, huge, massive box. I believe Doug has already started earmarking items from his own collection for it. And it is not limited to art. It is going to be limited to art and crafts and trinkets and baubles, and maybe even a few pieces of flair. It will be a hot box.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, that's it. That's what the plan is. So next Friday, I don't think I'm gonna be here next Friday. We had a conversation today, and I can't figure out if we decided that I wasn't gonna be here on Friday. But I think they alluded to me not being here on Friday, as in no stream next Friday, as in Doug, Trevor, and I, and Lee may be at WonderCon on Friday. Don You have seen through our facade and you have read between the lines and you have figured us out. We are not worthy of your brilliance. Now we have to pay you hush money. What do we have? This silver gel pen. This is to buy your silence about our methodology. Stuff the trunk of the Corvette. I say, fun fact. Doug has run out of storage, and he indeed has a secured additional garage that is just collectibles. You're going to send me a dungeon master? I hope she's cute. Or at least knowledgeable about the game. Mel would love that. Isn't that right, Mel? Actually, I have a pretty good DM now. It's Steven. For those who don't know, Steven is our DM. And by our, I mean Mrs. the Breaker and I. Mrs. the Breaker is a ranger, and I am a water Ganassi monk. I believe Mrs. the Breaker is half-elf. See, she digs it. I've never played a monk before. This is my first time not being a rogue type character. We're actually playing tomorrow. Yes, KP, that at the start of the show, Purdue lost to the 16th seed. That is correct. That happened. So there is literally not a single bracket left. Not one. Every single bracket on Earth has been broken. Oh, I love playing the rogue. I tend to play, when I did play earlier in life, I played a diplomatic rogue. I would always try to talk out of combat. And if I couldn't talk out of combat, I would just fade into darkness and backstab the crap out of everybody. I know Dangle. That's why I mentioned it. I believe it is only the second time. I just read it. Yeah, second time. Let me see. The Retrievers are the first team to ever do it. University of Maryland, Baltimore County, UMBC, in 2018 when they beat Virginia. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, every single somebody was saying it when I was reading the article, like the or watching the ESPN. They're like, there's no known bracket that is still not busted after today. Two massive upsets just crippled everything. I don't follow basketball. I've never been a fan of basketball because it was one of the few sports I could never be good at, no matter how hard I tried. Yep. Yeah. Between Arizona and today, just it's it. All the brackets are done. Um, Uncle Warren can keep his $1 billion. By the way, for those who are not familiar with the Berkshire Hathaway $1 billion bracket, as somebody who used to work for Berkshire Hathaway for 8 years and has met Warren Buffett on a couple of occasions, it's really funny how he produces that because, first of all, it's astronomical to get all of them correct. It is astronomically impossible to have a perfect bracket. Even if, let's say, somebody beat the odds and did it. Don, yes. Let me tell this story and we can set one up. So even if somebody did manage to get it right, let's say they beat the like trillion to one odds or whatever it is, and they got it right. He would pay out $1 billion. It's actually a fact. Warren Buffett also owns about 5 different insurance companies, and you can insure a bet if you are the house. By that, let's say, let me give you an example. They call it, the technical term is hole in one coverage. You're about to go down a very deep, dark insurance hole right now. Um, Hole in one insurance is exactly that. If somebody says, if you get a hole in one, I'm going to buy you this Buick, they don't own the Buick. The Buick is there on loan from a dealership. If they hit that hole in one, they get the car, which means the tournament has to buy the car and give it to the player. So what the tournament does is they buy insurance from a bank, from an insurance company, not bank, insurance company, that says, I will pay you $3,000. And if somebody gets this hole in one, you buy the car. If nobody hits it, well, then you just get my $3,000 and that's it. So that's called hole in one insurance. And then on top of that, an insurer can get what's called reinsurance. I swear to God, this is real and it's ridiculous. The insurer can pay another insurer to insure the money for a lesser amount for the payout. This is all real. Guess who owns a few insurance companies? Uncle Warren. Uncle Warren uses his own company to insure the $1 billion against Berkshire Hathaway, which is the conglomerate. He then reinsures his insurer, and if it ever was to get paid off, he could write it off as an insurance loss. So technically, he'd be writing off $1 billion worth of debt, and then on top of that, the reinsured amount for said number by his secondary company, all under the same conglomerate. Ergo, he would in essence lose almost nothing, because he would make it all up in business losses and tax breaks over the next 5 to 10 years. So he truly can give $1 billion away and be like, I'll have it back in 10 years. It'll cost me nothing but time. But yes, that is why Uncle Warren is really rich. and we are all big dumb circus bears. I will say this. You don't have to like Warren Buffett. That's fine. I admire Warren Buffett to a degree. After meeting him, after talking to him, yeah, he's donating everything to charity when he dies. His kids are getting very little. That's a known fact. He started working when he was like 4 years old. And he always had the reinvestment idea, even as a child. He started by selling newspapers. He would sell newspapers, take the money from selling newspapers, and then he bought a candy machine. He took the money from buying the candy machine and put it into like a soda machine. And then he would always one up, and then he would buy a second one and a third one at a different location. So he was very enterprising from a young age. Say, Don's like, I started working on my mom's last nerve when I was 6. So when he says he is a self-made man, he really was. He did get an amazing break out of college. And talked to the person who at the time was like the chief financial officer of Geico, fresh out of college. And he sat down at night, donated his time to this up-and-coming person who wanted to learn about business, and spilled a lot of beans to Warren about how business was done, which immediately made Warren want to buy Geico stock, which started the whole Geico love affair. Because eventually, after taking over Berkshire Hathaway, selling off the linen portion of it and keeping the name, he started to buy stock and eventually hostile takeover, which is not really hostile, companies, buy out stock shares, own them, and put them under the Berkshire Hathaway thing. How he built his money? Genius. What he does with his money now? I'll let you have your own opinion. I'm not going to share mine. But I have to say, the man really did do it all himself. And anybody who says otherwise, I can tell you, is got an itinerary and an agenda, because I've heard him talk about it himself. Yeah, he saved Geico, but now he's driving it into the ground. I don't think it's necessarily him driving into the ground. I think it's the people that he put in there driving it out of the ground, and he's just not going to bother saving it because he's wrung it out for what it's worth. He's gotten a very good wrung out of Geico. All right, let's talk about El Presidente. Anybody interested in a presidential draft break? Give me a second. These, thankfully, only take me a few seconds to put together, so I'm doing that right now. There's a couple of options here. That's all good, Dangle. Not a big deal. If you want, we can do buy a box and you get to pick two. That would be $74.99. If we are low-doing it, I can cut that in half and I can say $37.50 or $37.99, and we round up and I take $1. Let me see. I just don't know the math. That's why I'm stalling. 75 is 37. It is 37.50. We can do 37.50, and you get one spot. All right. Let me create a 37.50 draft spot then. I'm not doing it on my tablet. It's going to be faster on my phone. The only caveat is we will have to do them in twos. So we'd have to have an even number of participants to get involved. Otherwise, I'd have to buy a spot, and I would end up randoming myself into first place, and everyone would say it's fixed. Let me see if I have one already. I do not. Okay. All right, give me a second. Let me put it up. Levi, isn't that the guy that we drafted and is supposed to be really, really good? Do we sign him up? Like, do we bring him up? Is that the guy I'm thinking of? I mean, I could be totally wrong. We don't get very much Sabres news out here on the West Coast. Oh, from Florida. That's dope. Supposed to be really, really good? Is he a young guy or an older guy? Because if he's older, we should know if he's really, really good or not. Oh, nice. Dig it. Yeah, I know this is boring, but it's just me typing. Hey man, we could use some goalie help. I do know that. All right, do I have that would be funny if I put that on there, but I don't think other people would appreciate it. We're getting there. Raiders. Let's show the Raiders some love. Pop up that sweet, sweet heart emoji. And if you're feeling really saucy, give them a picture of me too. All right, presidential draft break is up. What's up, man? 37.50 to get in. Have at it, people. I always love suggestions, Hellbolt. Day 1 of 9. Dig it. Carlos is in. Don is in. Oh, that does not look like it's going to be easy. So is that interior lighting? That is going to be nuts. The question, so I'm assuming you're going to hide the battery pack in the handle? Gotta be one of those things. Gotta hide it somewhere. Goodness gracious, we are quiet tonight. It's St. Paddy's Day, all that corned beef and cabbage must have tired y'all out. Carlos is back. Had to go chase Evie. Here you go, chef. Get that money. So that is just Don and Carlos. Oh boy, you guys can arm wrestle over who goes first. You just gotta live stream it. I hope you're feeling well, chef. Don't push too hard. Take it slow. There is no hurry. Is there sound? On my end, there seems to be. I was definitely talking. Sound is on YouTube. Twitch is not active. Well, that's not good. Interesting. How about now?